welcome to our top 10 quick comic picks. I'm Andy.
I'm Matt.
We're here with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and this is our quick show where we show you 10 of the biggest. I was going to 10 and I couldn't get my arm out. 10 of the biggest and best books that are releasing this week on Wednesday to your local comic book stores, or if you shop with us at infinityflux.net, or if you shop with us in store, they will all be available then. So this is a big week of books.
Yeah.
We say it a lot.
Yep.
We're saying it again.
It's true every week. So we are going to start with DCKO number 1. It is here. This is the start of the whole shebang. And this one, it's big because the heroes learn that Darkseid has returned, and he's basically a god at this point. He can be everywhere and everywhen all at once. And they come up with a crazy plan to try to stop him. And there's a reason why they come up with that very specific plan. They have 7 days to get everything ready, and then the whole thing starts to where they're going to essentially enter this tournament. They're going to go head to head with each other to see who is going to win, who is going to get the Omega energy to try to take on Darkseid for the fate of the world. That was a terrible explanation in 30 seconds. So we're going to talk a lot more about this on the longer video after this. But yeah, DCKO starts right here.
Yeah, and it's not just a setup issue. There's a lot of action.
Yeah, there's a lot in it.
Okay, well, here's a big one. It is Absolute Batman issue number 13. And this is our penultimate issue for the Bane story arc. And this is our big Catwoman issue. So Catwoman is in the scene. What role is she going to play in Bruce Wayne / Batman's life? Oh, why does she come back into his life? And it's not just Catwoman. There are some other very big things that are revealed in this issue that I will avoid spoilers at all costs, but there's going to be a couple of things in here that people are going to be talking about that are setting the stage for the next issue that I think is going to be crazy. So don't miss out on Absolute Batman number 13.
Well, this week we also have our first batch of Age of Revelation number 1. So we're going to go over all 5 of them in our longer show coming up in a few minutes. But we wanted to talk about this one specifically. This is Amazing X-Men number 1. And because this is, I feel like, going to be the core book of this event, this picks up right where Age of Revelation Overture from last week ended, with Cyclops and the remaining X-Men on the run from Wolverine after that big fight in that issue. They're trying to get to a machine that can teleport them to Philadelphia where they have some allies, but they are going to Wolverine's going to catch up with them, and there's going to be another really cool fight. There's a couple of interesting scenes that may give us some clues as to what's going to come in the future. But yeah, if you want to read just the core of the Age of Revelation event, this is definitely the book to get, and we'll talk about the other ones coming up in a little bit.
Next up, we have Amazing Spider-Man Torn. This is a new mini-series that's really fun because it takes place during Peter Parker's college days. And you go back to the time of, is he going to be with Gwen? Is he going to be with Mary Jane? We get a lot of that fun stuff. Him falling asleep during class because he's out being Spider-Man too late. But also this introduces a new villain as well. It's kind of a setup issue for that. We see where this villain comes from and maybe what they're after. But if you want some very classic feeling Spider-Man, this is an awesome place for that.
Well, next up, we have Marvel Knights the Punisher number 1, and this is the new Punisher book, not to be confused with the Punisher Red Band series that's also going on right now. This is set in the World to Come continuity, which I'll talk more about that in a second. But this one, that whole thing is set in the future, and now we're going to see what Frank Castle is doing in that continuity. This one does feel pretty much like a standard Punisher book. He's trying to go after a crime boss who is peddling a new drug, and he's working his way through different goons to try to get at the main bad guy. But then there's a little, it doesn't go exactly how you might expect for the Punisher. There's some really interesting stuff at the end. This doesn't really connect at all to the current The World to Come book, but reading ahead to some of the other issues, the solicitations, it sounds like there may be some connective tissue at some point.
Next up, I don't want to say I was surprised how much I like this, but this was a blast. This is Harley Quinn X Elvira, and this is going to be a new miniseries working between DC and Dynamite Comics. And in this, It's around Halloween, and Harley is lamenting the previous year's Halloween, where she got horribly sick and did not get to enjoy the festivities. So she has vowed this year she's going to throw the best Halloween party. On the other hand, Elvira, her show is getting canceled and she needs a job. And well, Harley has a job for her to help her throw this crazy big party. Now, what's the big selling point of this is written by Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor, who had a phenomenal run on Harley Quinn. Amanda Connor does some of the art on here along with Juan Samu, but this is so much fun. This is the classic Harley from a few years ago where she's living on Coney Island. She's got her beaver, her stuffed beaver. She's got her cast of characters around her, and it's just an over the top fun ride and perfect for the spooky season.
That's funny because Jimmy Palmiotti wrote this Punisher book as well.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
All right, so I'm going to stick with the World to Come timeline, I guess, because we have the World to Come number 3. Number 2 came out back in July, so it has been a hot minute since we've seen this. But I talk about a series that did a complete 180 for me. I wasn't too sold on this after the first issue, but now I'm completely hooked. I love this. So this issue focuses mostly on T'Challa when he was younger, when he was a young boy. His father, T'Chaka, takes him to Harlem to stay with his cleric in one of his secret temples as a way to sort of test T'Challa. And so, we see T'Challa sort of learn a lot of lessons by doing that. But we also see a grown-up T'Challa taking his son Katama to do the same thing when he was about the same age, and we see the juxtaposition between how T'Challa handled it when he was young, how Katama handles the same thing when he was young, and also how it differs and how it leads them to be different men when they're grown. We also see Katama get installed as the new king of Wakanda, which is going to lead to whatever happens that causes the world to come in the first place. So I don't know. I'm just super into this story. There's a lot of cool mysteries, and we finally have number 3.
Well, next up for me is another new book from Ignition Press. This is Deluge. And let me tell you, so far it's been hit after hit with Ignition. So don't sleep on them, but try out some of their books. They are phenomenal. This one I was really excited about because this is by Cullen Bunn, one of my favorite writers, with art by Marika Cresta. This takes place in 1993 in a place called Sevierville Correctional Facility. And we get introduced to a lot of the inmates there. It's like an all women's prison, and you get to know, like, they're in for this reason, but don't let them fool you. They can be tough and everything. But one night, rain starts falling, the levee breaks, and the entire prison is underwater, or at least kind of knee deep or above water. And some weird stuff starts happening, like maybe some creatures start coming out of nowhere. There's still a lot of mystery to this, but it is such a easy read, but not in a bad way. It flows really well. It's interesting. A fun mystery is set up, and some interesting characters, and some twists and turns that you really do not expect when you start the book. So, highly recommend Deluge, another miniseries from Ignition Press.
Last for me is The Guy in the Chair, number 1. And this is about a guy named Abhi, whose code name is Gatsby. And he is an operator, or the guy in the chair, for a secret agent named Merlin. She's thinking like Black Widow. She's kind of like that. They work for this organization who has lots of agent operator duos. And Gatsby and Merlin are the best ones. Well, Gatsby is pretty much in love with Merlin, but their group that they work for has a strict policy that operators and agents do not ever meet face to face. Well, one day Gatsby is told that Merlin went on a secret mission without him and that she was killed, but he doesn't think that sounds right. And this is not a spoiler to say this because that's what the whole story is about. They're lying. She wasn't killed, but the mystery is, why are they lying to Gatsby? And what are they going to do now? Because they do actually end up meeting face to face. And what is this bigger mystery? Why are they both being lied to?
Well, and another big one this week, Transformers issue 25. This is the handoff issue from Jorge Corona and Daniel Warren Johnson to Robert Kirkman and Dan Mora coming onto this book. And it does kind of feel like the beginning of like a season 2 of the series. I still think it's a pretty good jumping on point. They do catch you up to a lot of the stuff going on. But this definitely has some Robert Kirkman flavor to it as he brings in some new elements, some new characters, and new surprises that you'll definitely want to check out. So another great issue of Transformers, and it's in good hands going forward. And that is it for our top 10 quick comment picks. Thank you so much for watching. There's so much we didn't get to talk about that we'll be talking about on our longer show with some of the variants and all of that. Quick note, if you check out the website right now, we are still waiting on a couple of our shipments, so the Absolute Batman and a few other things are not up there, but they should be there by the end of tomorrow. So just keep checking back, but you don't want to miss out on any of these awesome books. So go ahead, check out infinityflux.net today and tomorrow to get all the cool books that you want. And until next time, see ya.